Well, good afternoon or good evening if you're in the beautiful USA. If you are overseas, it's already Super Saturday morning. I am Bruce, aka the guy in the blue shirt, as I'm known here on LinkedIn. And I'm actually a process fixer, and I have my own method. It's called Simpler, Faster, Better. And I love to help people save massive amounts of process steps, time, and money. And I'm also a live stream host and honored to be that. And I'm with Susie, not Suzanne, as she reminded me. So Susie in Canada on the 24th floor of where she stays. Say hello.
Hello, Bruce. Hello, happy Friday evening to you.
Yeah, thanks. And we were chatting offline, and it's really amazing how people do get connected on LinkedIn. And so I always like to set the context of how, what I call are the four C's on LinkedIn. And they are, you start a conversation, and you can start that conversation typically through other people's posts or comments. And that's exactly what we did. And then what happens is through that, if you do it regularly enough, you start to form a little bit of a connection. And I definitely felt some common ground for you because your passion for the eye fashion, eye care, eyewear business. And the reason I felt that passion is I originally saw your stuff through Dr. Christine Nguyen, who she was a live stream guest for me. I then went to Florida to sit in her chair. We then had ice cream, and then I kept seeing all the stuff that you were doing. So we started to build a connection virtually. And then, and then I realized, oh, you're in this community. So that's the third C. You go from conversation to connection to building your own community. And inside that community, as recently as this week, I see you building collaborations with people. So that's my 4C method, and I try and get people to understand that that's really the way it should be because it's about people, and I know you're into that. So tell us a little bit about your adventures with people, and then also tell us about your acronym FT. It's not a rude acronym.
Well, I joined the optical industry 9 years ago, and
Uh-huh.
uh, it was quite the experience. I actually purchased a pair of frames,
Mm-hmm.
and they changed my life. I put them on, and I felt inspired, confident, and I tagged them as my magic glasses. And
Right.
a year later, after being stopped in so many different situations, I contacted the manufacturer, and I flew out to his country, which was Israel, out of all places. And I live
Wow.
in Montreal, Quebec, Canada. And
Mm-hmm.
we had a wonderful meeting, an incredible synergy. And I decided to quit my job as a national sales manager for an architectural company
Mm-hmm.
and jump right into optical distribution. So
Right.
that takes me back 9 years now.
Amazing. Well, it's amazing because we were also talking offline about vision. So you had the vision through your own experience with a brand that made you feel magical, right? To make that bridge, right? And take that leap of faith. And from architecting things, you're now architecting a different set of things, right?
There's nothing more satisfying for me personally than being involved in styling people in the perfect pairing, the perfect pair of frames that recreate that feeling I once felt in feeling absolutely confident, beautiful, and elevated in a pair of glasses. And I often say to my customers that we are the sexiest medical device on the face of the planet.
Well, we probably shouldn't go there too much, right?
Well, glasses really tell the world who we are. When we,
Oh, yeah, and it's funny because you and I both love Dr. Christine Nguyen and how she positions not only her skills and talents, but she's very articulate at taking, the brand ambassadorships that she has. And today, you know, I mentioned her. She posted a stunning pair of glasses, and of course, it's in, you know, a blue tint, which is my brand color. So of course, it got my attention, and that inspired me to go take a picture of my backup pair of glasses that, you know, she prescribed, and I got recently, to show, you know, I wasn't as courageous as her, or maybe your choice, but you know, I had some blue tints added to my frames, and it just personalized it a little bit, and it's a little bit of fun, and people already noticed. They said, "Oh, you have, you know, blue streaks on your frames," and I said, "Yeah, of course. You know, I'm the guy in the blue shirt. It's my brand. You know, why wouldn't I support my brand? I have a blue car as well. You know, so
Yeah,
why wouldn't I?"
I put on blue for you.
You did indeed. So
I don't know if you know, Bruce, but blue is the color of trust proven through the psychology of color.
I
So
did.
back in the 80s, all these executives at IBM were wearing blue suits.
Hmm.
And now we know why. You know, neuropsychology, neuromarketing, that's such a big play today. So
Right.
wearing blue is really cool. Way to go, Bruce.
Yeah. Well, actually, I did know that because I was also telling you offline, I lived in Dallas for a long time, and I had the fortunate opportunity to meet a lady called Dee Dee Leahy, and she used to market to attorneys. And she met me, and I was in a broke and broken position. I was both broke and broken. And Dee Dee said, "Hey, what are you doing tomorrow?" And I said, "Nothing, just trying to figure out how to put food on the table." And she said, "Do you have a blue shirt?" And I said, "I don't know." And she said, "Well, find a blue shirt, be ready at noon, I'll come pick you up." And she took me to this networking meeting. And she took me through the door and left me to it. And it's like, and I was clueless. I didn't know what I was doing. And afterwards, on the drive home, I said to her, "Why did you ask me to wear a blue shirt?" And she said, "Well," and she told me the neuropsychology around trust and confidence. And she said, "And the other advantage you have is because it makes your eyes pop even bluer than they are. And people remember your eyes. They won't remember your name, but they'll remember your eyes." So great piece of advice from Dee Dee. And I'm always thankful for her for that. So, yes, you know, chance meetings. It's all about those chance meetings. And talking which, if you are watching, I just got a note saying the comments may not be showing up. So if you are watching, please say hello. If you are commenting and you're not seeing any recognition from Susie or I, it's because I can't see them. So uh, happens sometimes. I can't fix that piece of the technology, unfortunately. Even though I'm a process fixer, I can't fix that. So if you are commenting, please carry on commenting. Let us know where you're tuning in from and any questions that you might have for either Susie or I. And be sure I will be sure I always go back and look at the replays and answer anyone's comments or hellos. So, Susie, tell us a little bit more about. I was intrigued by FTG, and so tell us about how that came about and what is that all about?
Thank you. So it's Friday evening here in Montreal. It's 6:40 p.m. I just got in 2 hours ago.
You
I
did
drove 2,200 kilometers in the last 6 days, and I covered a very vast part of Ontario. And
awesome.
when I travel, thanks. When I travel and visit our customers with our optical collections, I like
Hmm.
to wear all my different variety of collections. And I found myself, you know, overwhelmed by all these cases and grabbing the right frame at the right time or placing or leaving a frame behind. And I remember about, I guess, 4 years ago,
Uh
waking
huh.
up in the middle of the night from a dream where I dreamt up this solution and I sketched it out. I went back to sleep, not giving it much thought. I sleep with a notepad and pen by my bedside because it
Right.
inspires me. And often I get these crazy ideas in the middle of the night while I'm dreaming.
Hmm.
And uh, a year later, we received our samples. We actually took this little dream and created it. We sourced it, we manufactured it, we imported it. And on March 1st, 2020, we got our first sample in of the original FTG, which stands for Frames to
Wow.
Go. And it's a really cool accessory that stores your glasses. Even upside down, it still is effective.
I know it's tough. I always do. Here's my store, and I point over the wrong shoulder. Hey, talking of which, Charlene Nichols just jumped into the comments. Hi,
Hi,
Charlene.
Charlene.
Her
No,
ears must have been burning, right? We were talking about Charlene,
well,
not but
we love what she's brought to the industry, and her infused passion is so welcomed, and she's brilliant. So we like her already.
we
Um,
do.
the original FTG is really cool. It's
Hmm.
very beautifully manufactured. It's very strong. We actually have sold many and have not had one return. And personally, as an optical distributor, returns are a big part of our business.
They are, yeah.
But
So,
when
how many pairs does it hold? Just
So this is our FTG original. So it holds 1 to 4 pairs, but you could definitely fit 5 in. And
hmm
when you bundle it up, it takes less than 3 inches in thickness. So it could fit into your purse, your golf bag, your gym bag, your glove compartment, or even your sock drawer. So you always know where your glasses are.
right.
Um,
I love it.
Most recently, we designed our FB, which
Ooh,
is for Frame Buddy, and it's got a little carabiner. And we were inspired with Hoya because Hoya came out with a really cool kids lens, revolutionary, in fact. And
right.
so this was inspired for children for 1 to 2 frames, but because of the size of the slots, our frames also fit adult-sized frames, and
Hmm.
it's really cool because not everyone are snobs like we are. So this is good for 1 to 2 frames, and the carabiner is great for your purse, your knapsack, your gym bag, and it's very small and fit pencil case thin, and
Right.
uh, it's done quite well. And a lot of corporations have custom branded us, which is super nice to gift us. A lot of independent eye care professionals have custom branded us.
Hmm.
And we wanted to give the optical industry something a little more to up their game to encourage multiple frame sales and
Right.
to safely protect and store your frames, for travel as well as creating a movement that whenever you want to change your glasses, you can. Your mood changes, the weather changes. Uh, you don't have time to change your clothes to run out for a fancy dinner, so you want to put on your very fancy glasses. You can with your.
Whoa. Look at you. And just as you did that, another beautiful doctor friend, Dr. Alex Rosa from Ohio, joined us. So I got to meet Dr. Alex it's almost a year ago. Can you believe it, Dr. Alex? I can't believe we met in the June period. So coming up to a year.
That's
So
beautiful.
yes, thank you for joining. And you know what? I love the carabiner because I actually have in a backpack in my water bottle holders on the side of the backpack. That's where I put my both my current pairs of glasses in their individual containers. And I'm thinking, the carabiner would be cool because I could just hook it onto the backpack and then use the water bottles for water bottles, right?
Well, the good news is we make this in blue, and we
You
make
do. I
we
think I
do,
asked you that before.
and we make the FB in blue. So we'll make sure to send you one so you can, enjoy your glasses and our FTG.
Oh, I would love that. That would be super cool, and I'll hang it on my backpack. And I actually have a blue black backpack when I go to more upscale conferences. I have just a regular blue and red one for regular travel, but when I go to a professional conference, I have a leather backpack and it's blue or navy blue, so that would go perfectly. How about that? And BB is that's my nickname, but there's actually a lady called BB from Singapore, and she's a regular joiner for my live stream. She just hopped on. Hi, BB. Yeah, it's
Hello.
Saturday morning for her, early, early Saturday morning for her. But and she's a hairstylist, so later this year, I promised to. I'm actually going to be going to Malaysia late this year, so I promised to fly through Singapore, which is where baby's at, and we'll see. We'll sit down, go for a walk, whatever we're going to do.
It's wonderful.
Yeah, well, you and I have that zest for people in common, particularly people that have been live stream guests, as I mentioned before. I also have to try and meet my live stream guests. Not always immediately. Those glasses are great. Yes, they are, Dr. Alex. So do you have any more to show off?
Oh, absolutely. So this is
Cool.
Catherine de Medici. This is white gold, twisted Japanese titanium, and it's understated luxury. So this is one of the lines that we distribute here in Canada. The
Lovely.
original frame I was wearing is rocking it. This collection is called Caron Eyewear.
Hmm.
Karen Crate has been designing for the last 25 years all over Europe. And so when she launched her collection and I saw her social media posts, I jumped right in and we're distributing her in Canada. And
Right.
then I fell in love with being one with nature. Since COVID, everybody's wanted to get outdoors more and enjoy our nature. So this frame has over 40 fallen leaves in its most.
Oh, it's the one compressed from is that the South African one?
That's David Green from South
Da-
Africa. So
David Green. I was chatting with him this morning. How about that?
he's wonderful. I've never met anyone as passionate as David Green is,
Yeah.
other than, of course, Giovanni. So Giovanni was one of the founding partners of Italian Independent in Italy, and they did very, very well. And
Right.
when he went public, he sold his stocks and shares, semi-retired, and fell in love with a beautiful Italian lawyer. And they created and co-created Catherine de Medici as a tribute to femininity, which touched my heart. And
Hmm.
most recently, he bought a factory in Italy whereby he's creating a customized program where any eye care professional can design their own frames. And this
Awesome.
is one of his samples. This is customized and it's absolutely magnificent. And
Okay.
he's
So,
just super.
so talking of Italian heritage, I thought this was going to come up. Dr. Alex asked about the beautiful Italian masterpiece behind you. So, over to you. So, good eye, Dr. Alex, and yes. So, do your
So,
storm moment.
so my grandfather was an antique collector. He couldn't read or write. He knew how to sign his signature, and he also had an incredible eye for art. And he did very, very well. And this is one of the pieces that he brought in for Reggianini, which is Italian. And it's the calm before the storm, or is it after the storm? It's left
Mm.
to you. It's almost like, is the cup half full or half empty? So I love this painting.
Yes, great question. So Dr. Alex is saying there really needs to be some spice glasses. So I'm gonna get you guys to introduce each other to yourselves after, because Dr. Alex has a program called Spice, and she's one of the very few PhD nursing practitioners that I know. She went all the way, took herself and her family all the way on the journey from graduating all the way up to becoming a PhD nurse. And
Bravo.
yeah, she is an amazing example. If you put your mind to it and you time block, you can do anything pretty much you want to do on the planet. So, Dr. Alex, I'm going to let you talk to Susie or Suzanne in her office name days, right? She goes by Suzanne during her office time, but Susie after work. So, is that correct?
That's right. Actually, my dad used to call me Suzanne when he'd get very irate with me. But I always found that professionally, Suzanne was far more, uh, it
Appealing.
just, it was richer. And
Yeah.
I'm Susie, and my friends call me Susie. My family calls me Susie. And from 9 to 5, it's Suzanne, and after 5 p.m., which we are, it's Susie. So thank you.
Hey, you could spice it up. No pun intended, right, Dr. Alex? Between Suzanne morphing to Susie in the evening. So I'll let you guys to figure that out. And Yolanda Chin's in the comment. I've met Yolanda twice now in my two recent trips to the Dallas Fort Worth area. Yolanda's a wonderful lady, and time just flies by. We sit down for coffee, and the next thing we know, either one of us have to rush off to our next appointment. So it's
I was just in Texas, actually. I was in San Antonio for
hmm
6 days, and Texas is just so wonderful. I
yeah,
can't wait to go back and visit again. And
yeah,
there's,
very warm and welcoming people. So sorry, I didn't
yes,
mean to cut you off. There's a slight delay between one of the hazards of StreamYard. There's a slight delay sometimes. All right. So yeah. And BB saying they're beautiful. And yeah.
thank
So
you.
what's a really good place for people to check out all of your collections?
So if you follow me on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, all our brands are noted. Um,
Right.
and we have 6 collections, one program, and my passion is to elevate the independent businesses within our industry, whether
Right.
it's the independent designers, the clinics, the practitioners, the offices, or the manufacturers, or the medical community. I'm
Mhm.
all about inspiring and elevating everybody
Right.
because, there's such a hunger for new, exciting, and interesting. And
Mhm.
that's my calling. I like to really, you know, be the road warrior who's out there with my team. I have some amazing agents working with me. Hello, Natalie. And um, I just feel very, very fortunate to be in this position whereby I could bring in collections from all over the world who've inspired me. And I want to share it with you and your followers. So thank you, Bruce.
Oh, you're welcome. And so I think I know the answer, but tell us why you're so passionate about the smaller independent provider. Tell us a little bit more about that. What is it that you see that's so important instead of, you know, catering to the multinationals?
Well, I find they're very creative, they're very passionate, they're very driven, and I love a backstory. I love
Right.
to hear about where people come from, what's motivated them, and what their vision and their goals are, and what their mission is. And the more people I've met in the independent industry of the
Mm-hmm.
optical industry have been so remarkably inspiring that I couldn't help myself. I mean, I left a very comfortable position in architecture to sell glasses because I wanted all our viewers, all our followers, the public to fully understand that you don't have to go into a store and buy a Ray-Ban or ask for a Ray-Ban. Get familiar with your designers, learn about them, connect with them in a way that when you wear their glasses, you really feel like you're autonomous and you've created your own statement.
Yeah. Well, it's also, and I hadn't really thought about it too much when I was listening to David this morning when we were in the Omniverse City doing some of the speaker prep for the July event that Charlene is hosting. He was saying about, the sustainability elements, and I'd never really thought about that there are materials that are truly replenishable and sustainable in nature. And now that people have figured out how to make, glasses and glass frames with those, what a great way to make sure we don't run out of resources for, one of our critical senses in life, right? Wouldn't it be amazing if everyone wore fully sustainable glasses or contact lenses so that we didn't take those resources away from the planet, and deplenish or just reduce our ability to keep going on replenishing what we need, which is good vision, right?
I got to be honest with you. One meeting with David Green, that's all it takes. I mean, this gentleman is so driven and so attached to nature.
Yeah.
And his wife, Bridget, is so brilliant and so devoted to his calling and committed to him and to us that, being a distributor, being in business, at the end of the day, it's all about the people. And if you share their vision and they respect and honor what you bring, it's a perfect marriage. And I feel so fortunate. I have 6.
Yeah, it's amazing. And again, I'd never thought of the, replenishable, sustainable aspects of always making sure materials are going to be available to enhance people's vision. And it's, it's so simple once you get it, but you have to have somebody like David just explain it to you, and he explained it very quickly. And on that note, I guess you must have been the person that was the avatar that was in the last conference that you were holding hands with. Is that, I'm guessing, is that true?
Sorry, it was not me. You're going to have to
Okay.
keep guessing, but I'm looking forward to being more involved with Charlene. And I got involved with Charlene when she first started my vision show. And
Mm-hmm.
I was, I was just so honored to be involved with such a, you know, such a such a brilliant woman. And look, it's an amazing industry, and globally there's so much talent, but
Mm-hmm.
you remember the people that really make a difference, and you know um, extend a hand to you as a newbie, because I was, and welcome you and spend the time
Mm-hmm.
devoted to explaining their mission. And
Right.
um, this industry is filled with so many creative, brilliant minds, so much talent, so much drive, and so much passion that
Yep.
they say that when you join the optical industry, you rarely leave. And I am so sorry I didn't come in sooner, but I'm so honored to be a part of it.
It's about timing, right? And I accidentally fell back into the space, and which I'm having to relearn, just because of my rare eye condition. And it was really Dr. Christie. Dr. Christie made me feel okay and safe to talk about my very strange eye condition, which I kept as a secret. And she, I don't know, it's just something about the way she extended her hand and helped me through that. And then when we met in person, as I said, she purposely let me take the last appointment of her day so she didn't have to rush. I mean, how nice that was to think forward. But more importantly, after the appointment, it was even nicer that, we said we both love ice cream. So we went and had ice cream together. So, how many of your eye doctors, right, would really go out of their way to make you feel that comfortable, and more importantly, go have ice cream with you? I mean, it was just like unbelievable. It's like, when I think about it now, I think, did that really happen? I have it on video, so I know I know it really happened. But how extraordinary is it? Probably in no other profession would you get somebody that would be that willing and kind and empathetic towards just you because you have a special eye condition. And amazing,
You
amazing.
know, Christy leads the way by sharing and caring.
Oh,
And I
yeah,
gotta say, so does Charlene. And
yeah.
you obviously surround yourself and attract really positive influences in your life. So that's kudos to you, Bruce, because these two women are remarkable human beings, professionals
Well,
and
yeah.
heart centered. They're good people. And there's a
Hmm.
lot of people out there that will, want something from you for whatever reasons, but it's so refreshing to meet people who are unconditionally caring and extend a hand.
Yeah. Well, um, yeah.
Yeah,
What can I say? You've touched my heart, and actually everybody in the comments so far, I feel the same about them because I've been able to spend time with them one on one or in small groups. The only one that I haven't done that with in person or two is Charlene and Bibi, but that will happen. I know Charlene's got some massive, very fun, very amazing things coming up in the Omniverse City. And yeah, when she proctors and runs with her team the July event, I think everyone is going to be blown away with what they just won't believe what they're seeing. And I'm just happy that I'm on the train at the right time to take the journey with the Omniverse City, and not
yeah. Charlene has some amazing, support, and Irina is remarkable. And I don't know, I just believe good attracts good.
Well,
And
thank you.
we all work hard. We all have our calling. We all have our place within our industry. But then there are these people that go over and above. And there are very few people in the world who extend themselves unconditionally. They always
Hmm.
kind of want something back. And when you find people who are genuine and generous like that, you really so appreciate them. And me personally, I'm so humbled and I'm grateful. I'm filled with
Yeah,
gratitude because I'm still a newbie. I'm going into my ninth year, and all I want to do is, elevate our industry as independents, support those that really care about the human condition and who are kind,
yeah.
because it takes so little to be kind.
It does, but it is a rare resource. And hey, I'm even newer than you. I've only been in the Omniverse City arena with Charlene and her team now for just over 6 months. So I'm a real newbie. So I'm on learning overload every time I either speak with Charlene or I go to any of the events that she facilitates so well. And she's she's just upping her game all the time, even in 2 weeks. Like, I went to a small thing that she helped facilitate, and this morning she was like on a different stratosphere. She learns so fast, and she makes the experience more enjoyable for everybody else. So it's like, I didn't feel lost or flustered too many times on the event this morning, which is unusual for me.
You know, um, it takes a very special person, and it sounds to me like you're well on your way, and I'm still learning as well. I mean, there's so much modern technology that, people of our age group and demographic really have to not fear and just take a chance, spend the
Right.
time. And Charlene's very patient. So, hey, Charlene, sending you a big hug. And Christy, come on,
She is
Christy.
super patient. So I wanna kind of push back a little bit. The One of the selfish but specific strategic reasons I wanted to actually create a VR store, and this is visual of my Connect room, is I wanted to be a baby boomer that could break through the age thinking that comes typically from the ages below us, that where they may look at us baby boomer and say, oh, well, you don't get it, right? Well, I do get it, and here's the proof. It's the first independent solopreneur store operating on Main Street in the Omniverse City. So I actually take kind of a little tongue-in-cheek joy of saying to people, when people say to me, well, you don't get this stuff, Bruce, I'll say, hey, let me show you, let me send you a link to a recording of the Unveil My Store. Take a look at my store and see if you think I get it now. And I love that conversation. And before, I never used to really address it, but now I address it head on. And it's because my 2023 action word is dare. I dare to go into conversations that I would have shied away from before because I didn't know what to say. Well, now I can say it. I can prove it. Here, take a look. The proof is in the action. The proof is in the visuals. You can talk all you want. You can, but if you don't do any action, nothing changes, right? So, so what are your thoughts on that? Is age a barrier or not?
In certain instances, yes, it can be, but we have so much to learn from each other.
We
And
do.
you don't stop learning until you stop breathing. So, as long as you have an open mind and an open spirit, you attract a lot of education and a lot of professionals who are happy to lead the way and share with you. You just have to be there.
Yeah. Yeah, you got to show up, stand up, and be, in my case, be willing to be humbled and humiliated at times, and ask lots of dumb questions, because I drive Charlene crazy with some of my dumb questions. But it's amazing because we get there. I didn't need to know the technology. I still don't need to know the technology. I just need to know what the outcome wanted to be and how I wanted it to look, and we're underway. We're on our way. Real
It's
life working store.
It's fantastic, Bruce. Congratulations to you.
Well, it's actually Charlene that, I just kept reminding them of the strategy, which is I wanted a one place to do all of my communications longer term. And now I understand I can probably get off Zoom longer term. So I've been using AirMeet with Charlene's help this week. And it's like, okay, why not? Let's do it.
I love it. I love
Yeah,
it.
I know. And Yolanda, yeah, show up and stand up. Yes, be willing to take the risk. Be willing to, on my red Sedona rock, be willing to dare, or as the Japanese call it, ikigai, go for it. So how do you want people to reach out to you, Suzanne or Susie? Susie tonight, but Suzanne in your work. So
If you guys just want to follow us, we're at Suzanne Sendel Agency. We're at Suzanne Sendel on LinkedIn. We're on Facebook. We're on Instagram. We're just happy to hear from you. And if we can help you in any way, please reach out. And I hope to hear from you.
awesome. What do you have? You have something big on the horizon, right? You want to tell us a little bit about that?
Well, we have a project that we're working on, and my personal disclosure is we're just a project until we're sold as a program. But I wrote the Icons of Eyewear. It's a documentary, 6
Whoa.
episodes, and we've engaged close to 100 rock stars within our industry and out of our industry. And we signed with a really cool producer in Toronto who recently produced Drake's documentary. And Christy is actually going to be one of our hosts for one of
Oh
our.
my goodness. I got goosebumpy.
And Charlene's going to be in our 5th episode, which is Education and Innovation. And I've fully developed each episode. And now we're creating our deck and our sizzle reel to submit to all the broadcasters that have shown really incredible interest in our series. So again, my goal is to elevate our industry and unify all independents and really share with our audience and the viewer, what our industry is about. And I'm very, very excited about it.
All right. Well, you better make sure you drop us all the new information on that. And I've never heard sizzle reel before. I've heard brand story, which I'll segue into. I'll play my brand story with Devin James. And if, I guess my sizzle reel is, Devin and I wrote a little rap song for Connect and Shop and Play. So if people want to hear that, it's in the featured section of my LinkedIn page, or I can send it to them. It's 35 seconds, but he just gets in your head. It's one of those. I asked him to write something that got in people's head, and he did. But anyway, I'm going to do my brand story outtake. Don't go away. Thank you so much. I love all the conversations and networking going on in the comments. That's the absolute best thing with live streams, when people do that. Just can't thank everyone enough. So stay there, Susie.
You're frustrated that you have no time and you just hate it. You lost your mind. You're running around the kids and the spouse, and the business that was once your passion has got you burnt out. So, consult with Bruce, the guy in the blue shirt. He'll help you find the truth so that you can do you first. See, it's all about simpler, faster, better, so you can save massive amounts of time and money instead of longing for the day where you can finally kick your feet up. Do yourself a favor. Call up Bruce. He'll tell you about process cleanup.
What do you think?
It's impressive.
Yeah, Devin he's based in Portland. So if you want anyone to ever be an extra sizzle on whatever you might think of doing, I'd be happy to introduce you. Devin did I didn't have to send too many things and he put it all together. I just had to tell him what emotional outcome I wanted and he got it right first time.
That's fantastic.
And again, the rap song's a little different, but so if people want to hear that, then I can either drop it in this live stream or it's in the featured section of my page. So, all right, Susie, thank you so much. Don't go away. Thanks everyone again for all the comments. I was scanning through them. There's a lot that I'm going to go back and comment to. You can do the same as well, Susie, after. I'll send you the hashtag replay. I'll put it in your direct messaging here, and just have a fabulous Friday evening. And thank you so much for your warm and wonderful guesting here.
Thanks so much for having me. Good night, everybody. Have a wonderful weekend.
Yeah. All right.